Hello everybody, welcome to another episode with Broke Girls Art School. This is going to be part 3 of my Self-Care for Artists series. So the first episode I went over different techniques for stretching your hands, wrists, and forearms. Second episode I went over techniques to cope with your back pain. And this episode I'm going to be going over more mental health stuff. So I'll be sharing some of the meditation techniques that I like to use and other things that I like to incorporate into my daily practice just to make sure I keep a nice level head and I'm always putting out my best work. As always, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see my future content. It really helps out my channel a lot and I appreciate it. And if you would like to see my Instagram art, you can check out my wood burnings and other crafting stuff at Burn Blue Art on Instagram. And if you'd like to check out my tattoo page, it is at Sky Blues Tattoos. Let's get started. So equally as important as your body, I think, is your mental health. I mean, some people struggle with it more than others, but I mean, artists especially, I feel like are more prone to, having some mental health struggles here and there. So I want to give you guys my techniques that I like to do to keep myself centered. I think the first thing that is just a really important rule to live by is doing what makes you happy in that moment. Or, if you're having like a day where you are just like, I need time for me, then take that time for you. If you're working at a job where you can't take a day off because you need a day off for yourself to level yourself out, then maybe you should reconsider what you're doing for a living. Because, with me, I need to be able to have my time and my space, and if I need a day for me, I'm going to take a day for me, because at the end of the day, my mental health and my body is what's most important, and if that means that I need to reschedule someone or, take the day off, then I'm going to take the day off. Another thing I would like to point out is I think that people are way too hard on themselves all the time. Living in this day and age, in this society, no matter where you are in the world, life is pretty freaking hard for everybody. I mean, I feel like I can't name one person that doesn't have their own personal struggles, and it's just really important to do things that make you happy in that moment. So that's something that I've really tried to incorporate into my day-to-day. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I think, all right, like, what do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to do right now? And then I try my best to accomplish that goal. And it really keeps you, well, for me at least, it keeps me out of like that darker mindset. If I've been in kind of a slump for a little bit, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling down, it's like, well, you need to feed your soul a little bit more. So if you need to go blare some music, you need to draw something, paint something, play an instrument, whatever is gonna help bring you out of that space, whether it's eating healthier, exercising too. Two things that are so important that I feel like people don't emphasize, and people don't realize that, 90% of the serotonin, which is the happy drug in your brain, is produced in the gut. So if you're not feeding your body fuel and you're not giving your body proper rest and you're not taking time for yourself, then you're only going to hurt yourself. And it's really important to give yourself the tools to live a happier life. If you're going to be eating junk food and fast food every day and, just wasting your existence doing something that you don't really care about, then of course that's going to negatively affect your mindset. So that's something that I think everybody as a whole should be trying to do, because the goal while we're here is to be happy, right? We got a few years to come in our little meat suits and run around and do some stuff and love some people and learn some things, and then we leave. So I think it's really important to take this short, finite time that you have and do something that you fucking enjoy. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Another thing that's really helped me is I think writing things down is really important. So this is like my current handy dandy little journal. I'll write down like, oh, here are my goals for the day. I'm also very not diagnosed ADHD, but my mind is so freaking I'm so scatterbrained. So I love lists. I will write down, even if it's something as simple as like, oh, drink some water today, take a shower, like clean the bathroom, go pick up dog shit in the backyard. Like, I'll usually write it down on a list. And that way, if I'm feeling a little bit racy, like I can always check back to that get done what I need to get done, and then once all of those worries are out of the back of my head, then I can focus on what I really want to do, like starting a new art project, or if I need to draw, whatever. So, I mean, I also think that manifestation is very real and very important, so writing things down is another way that I like to manifest them into my life. Like, for example, on this page here, I'm writing like, oh, this is what I want to happen in my future. Like, I want to bring success and abundance to my life in these ways, and I want to build a following so I can help people, and I want to live more sustainably. What else did I write in here? Yeah, I want to have my own flourishing home and garden so I can feed myself and feed the earth. Yeah, I want to travel frequently. Anything that I want to happen in my life, I write it down, because it's just another thing about how the brain works. If you're solidifying that into your existence every time you speak it, every time you write it, and that's how you bring things into your life. You need to create it for yourself and live as though you already have that stuff. Because if you don't have the confidence and you're telling yourself, you're letting your ego tell you, oh, you can't accomplish this, you can't do that, then if you can choose to get sucked into that, or you can tell your ego to shut the fuck up and be like, I'm gonna go live my life and accomplish what I want to accomplish here. Like I said, this little time that we have. So yeah, that's another thing to get you in a good mental space, that with writing stuff down, you can look into shadow work and that kind of thing. It's just accepting all aspects of yourself, and that's also very important, because I think a lot of us kind of try to hide from the things that we don't want to see in ourselves. So if you can accept yourself as a whole, your good and your bad, everything about you, and truly feel love for yourself, and that is going to translate into every aspect of your life. Another really important thing is meditation and yoga. So when it comes to meditating, I feel like a lot of people don't really know where to start, and they think it's like a little bit more intimidating than it is. It's actually whatever you want it to be, pretty much, in my opinion. I like to use it to check in with myself, check in with my body, and just kind of put my thoughts, my rambling thoughts, on the back burner for a little bit, so I can just feel centered, really get a grasp for what I'm looking for in my life. And if you want somewhere to start, then I would YouTube some guided meditation videos, and that'll kind of like give you a direction that you want to go in. But yeah, I think just observing yourself is very important. And say you're a person that has a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, about your work, I think it's very important to realize yourself, you are not the thing having those thoughts. You are the spirit that is observing those thoughts. So if you take a step back from being sucked into, the narrative that you're telling yourself, then you can kind of drown in it a little bit. So I think it's important to step back and be like, oh, like I am observing myself experiencing this anxiety right now, or I feel myself having these depressing thoughts, whatever. So you take that step back and you can kind of disconnect from those emotions a little bit. And I don't think that you need to necessarily turn your emotions off, because, we're humans. It's natural for us to feel things, and, you don't just want to shove your emotions out to the side, but rather accept them and, see them for what they are, but don't let them dictate your life. The second you start observing yourself, then you can start kind of changing your own narrative a little bit. So I think it's really important to feed yourself a positive narrative every day. And then you'll be surprised with, the better interactions that you have with people, like just your mindset, like, you'll look outside your window, and instead of just seeing what you see every day, like you'll see a little bit of extra beauty in your life. Some other things that I like to do to relax, I'm a big bath taker. So I do like a whole ritual with it. I have my candles, my incense, I line up my crystals everywhere. Sometimes I'll read my books, or I'll draw, or I'll even just watch Netflix. But I think taking baths is like so therapeutic, at least for me. It just feels so good, and I always use my Epsom salts, which is also great for sore muscles. So yeah, I would start incorporating baths into your schedule a little bit, especially if you have a lot of back pain and that kind of thing. And it's just super relaxing. So baths are something I like to do. Physical exercise is really important for your mental state, I'd say. Like I said, if you're feeding your body crap and junk every day and you're not moving it around enough, then you're gonna notice that in your mind space as well. So I think it's important to, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be going to the gym. Like, I have my hoops over here, I'll play with my hula hoops, and that's a good workout for me. Or, you know, take your dogs for a walk, go for a jog. Like, even if you just randomly do 10 squats, just do something and kind of try to build it into your daily practice. Another thing that I think is really important is creating a space for what you're trying to do. So like, for example, if I were gonna be doing some yoga or like anything in this space, like I like having my candles and I like to clean the area before I get started. And you know, it just, when you set your intention and you put aside the space and the time to incorporate something, then it'll have a bigger effect on your life and it'll be easier to make it a consistent practice. So yeah, somewhere to start. Like I said, I recommend writing things down, whether that be your feelings and emotions that you want to get out on paper or a to-do list for the day. Writing stuff down is extremely helpful for me and the way my brain works. Diet and exercise, super important. And just creating space for you and asking yourself what you want, not only out of your day, but out of your existence. And you can take that and just create the reality that you hope to see for yourself. But it takes a bit of courage and some strength, and you know, you only got one life, unless, who knows if we reincarnate, we won't know till we die. But I think you should take advantage of every opportunity that you have, and as cliche as it is, live your life to the fullest. Yeah, so you guys make sure to drop a comment if you have any questions for me, or even if you have any techniques that you use for yourself that really work for you that I can maybe share with other people. That would be wonderful. I'd love to hear, you know, what you do in your practice to take care of yourself, your mind, body, and soul. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see some future comments or some future content, and I would love to know what you guys think about the series and everything. So yeah. All right, guys, so that's going to bring us to the end of my 3-part Self-Care for Artists series. I will tag links in the description box below for the other 2 videos if you want to check those out. But otherwise, don't forget to drop a comment. Let me know what you thought and if this helped you out at all. And don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your day, guys.